What's up guys, my name is Phil. Welcome back to the Detailing Workshop. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the toxicity of the detailing community. Now, what do I mean by the toxicity of it? Well, here's what's happening. And it's been happening for many, many years. And it happens with pretty much any type of community of people. And this can really stretch across any type of field at all. But we're going to focus on detailing because that's what you and I are a part of. So what do I mean by the toxicity of it? Well, I've heard other detailers talk about this as well, and I completely agree. And you've probably seen many of our videos on Miranda Detailing on our other channel, where I have to explain things and talk to people in a way that, well, it kind of shows that they have no idea what they're talking about. Now, there's many different types of detailers as well. You're going to have ones that do this for a living, and you're going to have ones that are enthusiasts who do it for fun, and you're going to have ones that are kind of enthusiasts, but they're also kind of doing it as a side gig. So there's going to be many different levels of detailing. However, there are those who, first of all, have the money to buy all of the nicest tools and products, and also have the time to spend making these really nice videos to show you all the ins and outs of the work that they're performing, and in the end, their jobs look perfect. From a nasty, horrible disaster detail to pretty much near perfection. It's nice. It's visually pleasing, it's visually enjoyable, it's entertainment. But is it the reality of detailing? Well, if you're a new and upcoming detailer, you're going to look at that and try to shoot for that type of perfection in your business. Unfortunately, you're going to be sadly disappointed, as I was. I did watch a lot of those videos early on in our business and thought, this is awesome. I can make these vehicles look just like that. And sadly came to the conclusion after a few years of experience and trial and error that that simply was not the case. Some vehicles, sure, they turned out really awesome, and I was really happy about that. And again, that kind of set my standard pretty high until I came to the next vehicle that was kind of a disaster vehicle. And I tried those same methods and even kicked it up a couple notches, trying heavier duty chemicals and being more aggressive with cleaning. And still, I could only achieve maybe 50 to 70% of what I really wanted the vehicle to look like. And that was a reality. So I quickly had to understand that the variables that we talk about, and we're going to talk about a lot on this channel, are so numerous that you have to take all of these things into consideration. And when you do that, you begin to realize that you have to be reasonable. And if you are doing this as a business, and this is how you make your money, this is how you make your living, it's going to be a challenge to really live up to those super high, unrealistic standards that we see here on YouTube. Now, we see them here on YouTube because this is visual. We can show you videos before, during, and after, and we also need to show you when things don't come out. I think a lot of these YouTube channels do not do that. They're not going to show you those jobs because, well, maybe it's an ego thing, or maybe it's just not satisfying to see a vehicle where all this time was spent on it and it looks meh. But again, that's the reality. You're going to come across vehicles that simply do not clean up the way that we expect them to. When you are doing this as a business, you are going to need to talk to your customer. You're going to have to learn how to communicate with your customer very, very well. And for lack of a better term, kind of cut them off at the pass. What I mean by that is you need to mention all of these things beforehand, before you even touch the vehicle at all. You have to look at the carpets, look at the cloth, look at all of the nastiness that may be in the vehicle, and gauge it in your mind. And do not shoot for 100%. Shoot at least, if it is a disaster type of detail, and we've all come across those, then shoot for at least 75% better. At least. If it does come out great or better than expected, then the customer has been prepped. They're going to understand that this is not perfection. Now, most of the times, the customer does realize that. They are not even shooting for perfection. They just want it cleaned up. They want it looking better, they want it feeling better, and they want it visually at least looking better. For the most part, those customers that we've dealt with where they have a disaster car and we've cleaned it to the best of our ability, and some looked I don't know, 50% better, because the stains in the carpets were never going to come out. The carpets have to be ripped out and replaced for the vehicle to look good. But the customer was extremely happy. So again, set those expectations properly and within reason, and the customer is going to be happy. The car is going to be clean, do your best, but don't go crazy. Don't kill yourself trying to shoot for perfection. Going back to the toxicity of the community, here's where YouTube really does play a role in this, because this is so visual and we're kind of exposing the jobs that we do to many, many eyes and many types of people, many types of personalities. We're going to get those who, for whatever reason, think that they know better, can do better, use this chemical, use this tool, you didn't do it right. There's a lot of that type of negativity going on, and they really have no right to do that, do they? They're not there performing the service, and they're not there seeing the vehicle. They don't know anything about your customer, they don't know anything about the history of the vehicle, and they're not taking into consideration any of those variables. When you do get comments like that, and I get them, and I know, I do kind of take them personally, because detailing is, well, it's not just a hobby, it's not just a side gig, it is our career. It is how we make a living. And it's been much more than that now that we're on YouTube. So yes, I do kind of take it personally. However, I've learned to really twist it around and turn it into a teaching moment. I want new and upcoming detailers to truly understand the reality and don't fall into that trap, that toxic perfection detailing theory. It just doesn't make sense, and it's actually harmful to you and to customers, because when customers watch those types of disaster details and then call you to detail the vehicle just like that, you're really going to be in a world of hurt, because already the customer's expectation is set so high that it's beyond reality, and now you have to come along and kind of reteach them, and that can be really difficult if they're kind of addicted to those types of videos. It's really going to skew their mentality and their view of detailing and what the reality really is. I know, those videos are enjoyable, they're entertaining, and I've learned a few little tips here and there. But the biggest thing that I've learned from those videos is that they're unrealistic. Many of those are YouTube detailers. They have full-time jobs, and they're doing this as a side gig. Now, I'm not saying that across the board. I know some may say, hey, I know this person and this person, I know them personally. Now they do this as a living and so on. True. But real detailers, ones who do this for a living day in and day out for many, many, many years and have come across so many different things, they can kind of see past some of those things. In fact, they can even see if some of them are staged slightly. Certain things clean up a little bit too easily. So when we come across those things and we do exactly the same thing as that person does, doesn't come out the same. Something's a little fishy about that. Now I know, again, sometimes those vehicles do come out that good, but to only film the good ones, it's kind of not fair. And that's the toxic part. You need to show the ones that don't come out so good. Show all of them. You've seen on our main channel, Miranda Detailing, we have some really awesome detailing videos that, man, those jobs just come out amazing, and they were pretty trashed. And then a few of them that look really trashed and they look slightly less trashed. That's the reality. They didn't come out that good. And I wasn't happy with them, and the customer was happy with them. But again, that's just my brain wanting to go a little overboard and try to reach that standard that I've seen here on YouTube. And again, that's where it hurts you. That's where it's toxic. That's where it's not really helpful for you or me as a detailer. Take all of this with a grain of salt. And I know some people may not like what I'm saying about these other types of disaster details. True, some of them aren't staged and they're real and they do come out that good. But I think that those types of detailers need to show when they don't come out good. They need to show the reality of it, because it just looks like they are detailing all-stars, that they can just tackle anything and everything, and they're not giving the advice that really should be given to new and upcoming detailers. The reality of detailing. Not every disaster detail comes out perfect. Here on YouTube, Again, we have the visual. It really started with detailing forums. You can learn a lot on forums. In fact, I did, and then learned much, much more on YouTube because I can actually see the person performing the work. Of course, in forums, you have a lot of trash talk, you have a lot of negativity. When people go in there, new and upcoming detailers go in there to ask questions and get advice, you get a lot of smart aleck comments and a lot of dogmatic detailers there telling you, you must do this, you must do this. If you don't, then you're not a real detailer, you're a hack, all of that. That type of negativity needs to be flushed down the drain. It shouldn't happen, but it does. And I know that's the reality of this world. You need to balance that. When you do come across that type of negativity, or you're not getting your questions answered, then go to someone that you do trust, that you're watching all the time, and you can get answers, honest answers to your detailing questions. Now, I am no expert. I've only been in the game for 11 years, but even within those 11 years, we've experienced a lot, and we've talked to many other detailers, and we have a good, well-rounded, balanced view of the detailing world. I'm not a business major or a business savvy person at all. I just know how to run our little business. So if there are certain questions or topics that you want to ask me, and if I don't know them, I will not try to answer them if I do not know the information. But I will do my best to point you in the right direction. Now, if you do want to get some amazing detailing training, we do offer training here at our shop. The Detailing Workshop does offer one-on-one training, so you can actually come here for the day or multiple days, have that one-on-one interaction. No classroom setting as of yet, because I like the one-on-one interaction, and you get your money's worth out of it as well. You have me for the entire day to pick my brain, to ask all the questions you want, and to be able to demonstrate on your own vehicle or other vehicles that we may have in the shop. So if you are interested in that, then check out the links down below. You can actually sign up, or you can just call me and chat. Now, I try to answer questions when people call or text as best as possible, but I sometimes do get inundated with calls and texts and emails, and I try to answer them as best as possible. But those answers may be very brief, may be very short, but that's because of the amount of time that I'm spending in my business, my personal life, and trying to help out you guys. So be patient, be kind. If you do want true online training or one-on-one training, I do have the facility for that, and even online training that has to be a paid service because that is part of my business and taking up our time. So if you are looking for that type of training, I can do online, I can do live training here in our garage, or in person, one-on-one. Again, check out the information down below. So guys, if you have any other comments or questions about the subject that we talked about today, or if you have any other subjects you'd like me to talk about or answer for you, then let me know down below, and I'll have a nice running list of all sorts of different topics that we'll talk about on this channel. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time. Take care.